could it be? But me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Saturday Night Football Overtime. Bills, Patriots, AFC East family business. If these two teams said they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. And man, was that some great family business or what? Second game of the day that was a one-score contest. This was a hell of a football game. Much better than the first one we saw today, but both were close contests. Either team could have won the football game earlier and in this game as well. Let me say a couple of things before I even get to the game itself. Number one, man, is Mike Tirico good, and I miss him. God damn it, Mike Tirico's good. Man, do I miss him. And I know he does the Notre Dame games, and I still get a taste of him there. But, bruh, Mike Tirico is made for this, man. I need him back on some kind of major telecast. And I know he's the heir apparent to the throne on NBC's Sunday Night Football. So whenever Al Michaels decides he's done, Mike Tirico is going to assume that role, I assume. But we don't know when that's going to be. Al Michaels is still going strong. I don't see him being replaced anytime soon. Mike Tirico is made for this, man. Damn, he's good. Okay, that's number one. I needed to get that out of my system. Number two, this is a dangerous Buffalo Bills football team. I've been warning everyone about them all season long. They continue, and I think what we saw tonight is the beginning, and I don't want to overstep my boundaries because people have been doing this for years with the Patriots, and they've been wrong. But I feel comfortable saying this. I've never pronounced the Patriots dead, and I'm not going to do that tonight, and you would be foolish to do that yourself. But I will tell you this much. This feels like the beginning, okay, this whole season. But these two particular games versus Buffalo, it feels like the beginning of the passing of the torch in the division. That's what it feels like. Again, Buffalo hasn't done anything. They haven't won anything. I get that. But I'm telling you what it feels like to me. The Bills are no longer afraid of the New England Patriots. They're the only team in the division not afraid of them. And I know the Dolphins say, look, we used to beat them every year when we were half decent. And they may beat them next week because the Patriots don't have anything to play for. Well, they still have to play for seeding. I take that back because if they lose and the Chiefs went out, the Chiefs will get the 2 seed, and the Patriots desperately need the bye. They need some rest. You saw them lose their right tackle, Marcus Cannon, in this game. Julian Edelman gutted out. Oh, yeah, that's another thing I need to mention, too, before I forget. Can we just go ahead and admit that Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer right now? Can we all come to an agreement on that? I think we're all in agreement on that. If you're not, and it was funny because someone was asking me, as a matter of fact, it was my man Reed was asking me about one of his wide receivers in Chris Godwin and where he ranks in the league, and is he a top 10 receiver? And I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, Chris Godwin isn't anywhere near the top 5, top 10, none of that. Because a lot of times when we make these lists, we don't call out Julian Edelman's name. Well, I did when I was calling out receivers, and I said, look, there's a bunch of receivers that we can go through before we get to a Chris Godwin, okay? And Edelman was one of the names I brought up. And I know some of you probably scoffed and poo-pooed that. When you start talking about best receivers in this generation, you got to stop leaving out Julian Edelman. The man is a Super Bowl MVP. And when it has to be done, who's Brady looking for? Julian Edelman. His career in New England has surpassed that of Wes Welker. He's been the best Patriot receiver we've ever seen. And I'm telling you right now, we talk about how Brady's never had any Hall of Fame players that he's thrown the football to. Well, over the last decade, he's had Gronk, and I think he's had Edelman too, and I think both of those guys are going to end up in Canton when it's all said and done. So I think you need to stop disrespecting Julian Edelman if you are doing that out there. It's another gutty performance by him. I thought he had a concussion. I didn't think he was coming back. You saw how slow he was getting up after catches early in the ball game. This man was in pain. He gutted it out, and when he came back, there was an energy, there was a life that was brought back to this Patriots offense. You heard them talking about it on the telecast, what he means to this football team. Edelman, to me, is the heart and soul of this Patriots offense right now. To me, the X factor, though, is Sony Michel and Rex Burkhead. Those are the two guys right now, and really just the running back position in general. Because I think James White, when it's all said and done, we know what he can be come playoff time. he's easy for 14 receptions in one of these games and the backbreaker for one of these teams out here that's trying to beat the Patriots. We know he's good for a 7, 9, 12 reception game and doing some work. So I think the running back position in general for the Patriots is the X factor moving forward. But I think Edelman is the glue. I think he is the heartbeat of this Patriots offense. And I'm ready to crown this man a Hall of Fame football player. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to. You go put his postseason numbers up against anybody out there. I challenge you to do that. And you come back and tell me that Edelman doesn't deserve some kind of recognition for what he's been in this league throughout his career. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he's done in New England. But anyway, back to the point at hand. No, I feel like the Bills are no longer afraid. Like there was a time where I was like, the Bills they're still scared of the Patriots. Like in the back of their mind, they know we can't beat them. They like every time you felt like they had a chance, they piss all over themselves. They wet the bed, and you're like, yeah, because those are the big bad bullies in the division. It's the big bad Patriots. And when the boogeyman shows up, everyone gets scared and afraid. I don't think the Bills are that way anymore. And I think they look at the Patriots as an equal. They no longer look at them as a superior. They no longer look to bow down to the Patriots like everybody else in the division does, like the Jets do, like the Dolphins do. And no one ever takes the Dolphins serious anyway. All right, that's why I coined the phrase that Dolphins shit. Okay, because nobody takes the Dolphins serious. You have to take this Bills team serious. And I was telling anybody that would listen that earlier in the season, when they played the first time back in week 4, I'm like, this is a different Bills team. And a lot of people were just poo-pooing the Bills because, oh, they beat a bunch of bad football teams. Well, guess what? You got to beat them too. You got to take care of business in this league. That's the difference between the haves and the have-nots. The reason the Cowboys are 7-7 right now is because they don't know how to beat the good teams, but they've taken care of the bad teams, and that's why they're in a position to win the division. When you beat the teams you're supposed to beat in this league, it usually bodes well for you, all right? And then when you take the step forward to start beating the teams that people don't think you are supposed to beat, that's when you've become an elite type of football team. That's why I don't think the Packers are that good this season, because they've beaten all the teams they're supposed to beat. But when it comes to the teams that they're not supposed to beat, they haven't, in a lot of instances, they haven't even been close. But in any event, when I look at this Bills football team, they're going to be a tough out. And I said it last week when I broke them down after the Pittsburgh Steelers win on the road on that overtime program. I said, this is a team nobody is going to want to face. Now, I don't anticipate them going very far in the postseason, but I could see them going to Houston, and that's who they're most likely going to have to play, is the Houston Texans. And I could see them going to Houston and smoking those boys in the first round of the postseason. You saw their road record this season. They're 6-2 on the road. That's got to be up near the top in the league in terms of road victories. Teams aren't going on the road like that and winning. Now, obviously, you look around the league at all these 11 and 12 win teams. You got to be able to win on the road to get that many wins in this league. So, but they got to be right up there, all right? Which means they're not killing it at home, which is fine, because guess what? They got to be road warriors. They won't see home the rest of the season. After next week at home versus the Jets, they won't see home for the remainder of the season, because they got to go on the road and do their work if they want to advance in the postseason. So this is and I said that against Pittsburgh. This is a battle-tested team that's not afraid to go in your building and smack you around and disrespect you in your house. They're not afraid, all right? I've watched this team all season long, and it's funny because Mike Tirico's so damn good. He said, man, I'm going to tell you right now, these boys are not afraid to go on the road. He said, this is a tough team. The noise is not affecting them, and I said that versus Pittsburgh because I thought that environment in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night, terrible towels flying around, I thought that moment was going to be too big for them. And that's my aha moment with this Bills team. I already thought that they were good enough. I already thought they were going to make the postseason. But I said, they're not ready yet. All right, and this game is going to prove it. And then they go out and they beat the Steelers. Even though the Steelers have a horrendous offense and a really bad quarterback situation right now, it doesn't matter. It's still a quality win against the Steelers team that was playing with the utmost confidence at the time. And to see them come out and show the way that they did tonight tells me that they're ready. They're ready for the big show. They're ready for the and I know there are no moral victories, and I understand that. All right, and there's still a monkey on their back because they still haven't beaten the Patriots. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the Patriots don't want to see these boys again. They don't. And so the Patriots hope that they don't have to play these boys again, because if they do, the third time may be the charm, because they're not scared. They're not scared of the Patriots. So the Patriots better get that first round bye, and they better hope and pray that the 6 seed doesn't upset the 3 seed, because if they do and Buffalo takes care of business, they will see this team again, and that could spell trouble for the New England Patriots. Speaking of the Patriots, this is a big win. I told you that I felt like this offense at some point would get it together. I'm starting to see glimpses of this offense coming together now. Again, Edelman is the key to it all. If he's not in the lineup, they don't have an immediate winner, okay? But I told you, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Guess who? Mohamed Sanu was going to be a really good pickup for them. I think eventually, before it's all said and done, he's going to show you why they were willing to spend the pick that they gave up to the Falcons to get Mohamed Sanu. And I think it was a 3rd rounder, if I'm not mistaken, or a 2nd rounder, as a matter of fact. But you're going to see that. He's going to add value to that football team. But the guy that I'm really counting on to continue to grow and blossom is N'Keal Harry. That's the guy that I thought was the number 1 receiver in this past year's draft. I was wrong about that in the interim. Okay, other guys like A.J. Brown and Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf have all outperformed him, but he hasn't played this season. Remember, he was on the PUP list to start the season off, and so this is a guy that just got back like a month ago. So he's slowly getting acclimated to this Patriots offense, and as he continues to grow and his role expands, look out for N'Keal Harry being a dangerous weapon in his offense and more of an X factor. Right now, he's just still learning on the fly, and they're just trying to find creative ways to get him the football. But I'm telling you right now, they're figuring out some things. One, I think they have to run it. And you saw that last week. You saw it again this week. They're starting to figure out Burkhead, Sony Michel, PlayStation, and James White have to be more involved in this offense for them to be successful. I think you're going to see more of those guys as the season progresses. As we get into the postseason, you're going to start to see these running backs kind of take center stage. And I think they're going to start getting these guys the football, not just in the run game, but also as pass catchers. I think you're going to see that a little bit more. And also, I think what you're also going to see is a little bit more of them going empty. You know, just spreading teams out and letting Brady get it out of his hands quickly. That's what you saw early in this game. Brady started 9 of 9 because they were open and Brady was getting it out of his hands quickly. He was spreading it around and getting guys involved early. Edelman was winning quickly. He was getting him the football, get Brady into a rhythm, keep the defense on their heels. I think you're going to see a little bit of that as well. They still struggle in the red zone, though. They still struggle in the red zone to score, and I think that ultimately is what's going to come back to haunt this Patriots. They were moving the football up and down the field this game. Over 400 yards of total offense in this game for the New England Patriots. All right, they moved the football with ease in this game. Their problem is they get bogged down once they get inside the 30-yard line. When things start to restrict and the field starts to shrink, they struggle. And so I think that's what's ultimately going to hurt them moving forward. But this defense right now is the catalyst for this football team. They gave us some big plays today. You know, the Bills didn't have the most success moving the football, but those big plays. And you say what you want about Josh Allen. You know, that's my boy. So I'm a ride with Josh Allen. I'm a rock with this guy all the way through to the end, because a lot of people like to shit on Josh Allen. And I told you, and just like against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving on a 4th down quarterback sneak, you saw it again. All right, here. And I don't know if that was a 4th down or not, but that was a quarterback sneak where he fumbles the ball, takes it, and he says, I'm getting his 1st down. Come hell or high water. You saw it again. And this was a 4th down tonight, where he takes the snap, and he's going to leap over the top, realizes that's not the way to go. All right, they got that all mapped out. So now he has to go around. They grab his face mask. They miss that call, all right, and still manages to tough it out, get to the outside, and get across that 1st down marker for the 1st down. This guy wants it. And in the 4th quarter, when the game's on the line, you find me 4 or 5 quarterbacks better than Josh Allen, man. I'm going to tell you right now, you can have Drew Brees and all of those guys, and look, you'd be right to take a Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers or one of those dudes. But after you get past those elites, find me a dude that's better than Josh Allen in the 4th quarter. Look, if not for the Patriots blitzing the draws off of him on that last possession of him getting sacked, I felt like I thought this game was going to be tied. I thought this was going to end up with a field goal, a walk-off for the Patriots because they're going to leave too much time. And Belichick's so smart. And this is why half the coaches in the league just don't get it. He called that timeout on the other side of the 2-minute warning to preserve time so that if the Bills, in fact, did score, the Patriots are going to have plenty of time to get in the field goal range and walk this thing off 27-24. And I thought that's what was going to have to happen because Allen was in a groove. You saw some of those throws. Backing up the John Brown throw. Are you kidding me? Stop. So he may miss a couple of throws. You're like, come on, Josh, I need this one. The throw to Dawson Knox before halftime. The throw to John Brown, smoke, backing up. Leave me alone, man. Don't talk to me about Josh Allen. Go somewhere else with that, okay? Yeah, he may miss the out route from time to time. Yeah, he may not drop it in the bucket on the corner route to Dawson Knox late in the ball game. But you find me quarterbacks that's throwing that ball to John Brown over the middle of the field with two guys in his face backing up on the money 40 yards down the field. Find me that dude. Because there ain't many of them in the league. I can count them on one hand. So miss me with all the talk. Yeah, the numbers they're not pretty. They're not clean. 13 or 26 or 25, whatever it was. That's not what tells the story with Josh Allen. It's wins and losses and what he does in between the start of the game and the end of the game that helps his team win. And whether that's running the football, you heard them talk about him leading the league in quarterback rushing touchdowns. You saw his rushing numbers when they compared him to Tom Brady. I don't even care about what they were comparing him to Tom Brady about. The fact that, remember in his rookie season, this dude had like 3 or 4 games in a row rushing for 100 yards. And I'm like, yo, this dude can affect the game, not just with his legs or with his arm, but with his legs as well. Like, a lot of people didn't give him that credit coming out of Wyoming that, hey, this is an athlete we talking about here. Everybody wants to talk about the cannon for an arm. Don't forget about this dude's wheels, man. They work, and he knows how to use them. So I love me some Josh Allen. I told you that Devin Singletary, to me, is going to be the X factor moving forward. I told you about Dawson Knox. Anybody that would listen, when I broke down the draft last year and I talked about the tight end group from last year was one of my favorites in particular draft class. That was my favorite position group. And I think that's going to be a tight end group that just becomes the gift that keeps on giving. We're going to see these tight ends from last year's draft really explode in the future. I still think that Jay Sternberger is going to be big in Green Bay. You see what Dawson Knox is doing. You already know what the LSU tight end Foster Moreau is doing in Oakland. I'm telling you right now, that tight end group from 2019 is going to explode, and Dawson Knox is going to be a guy that you're going to remember his name sooner rather than later. He made a hell of a catch and was open for another one, and Allen missed him. So this is a Bills team that's scary, but the Patriots, I really feel like if they can not give up big plays like they did tonight. That's a hell of a route by John Brown. Smoke lost. He left Stephon Gilmore at the bus stop. Stephon was like, God damn, I thought the bus was supposed to be here at 8:05, man. Shit, it's 8:15. Left his ass at the bus stop. Wanted to know when was the route? What's the next route? When is the next bus coming? Well, John Brown already left him at the corner. He went to the post. He's gone. So they don't give up big plays. They're going to be a tough defense to deal with because they generally keep things in front of them. Tonight, they didn't do that, but credit the Bills, man. Tough, gutty effort on the road. They didn't get it done, but this is a scary team. And I'm telling you right now, they stay healthy. I don't know if they really don't have anything to play for. They've already locked up the 5th seed. I don't think either of the teams vying for the 6th seed can catch them. They beat Pittsburgh. They own that head-to-head. I don't know where the Titans stand in that and if the Titans could leapfrog them to the 5th seed or not. But I'm going to tell you right now, if they go to Houston in the wild card weekend, I'm taking Buffalo right now. I'm just telling you right off the buck. Especially if Will Fuller isn't playing, give me Buffalo in that game right now. I feel really confident in them. New England needs home field advantage. We saw that. We've seen it throughout the year. They're better at home than they are on the road. We know that to be a fact. We've known that over the years. I don't think they're not getting the number 1 seed, but what they can do is get that first round bye. They need that first round bye. They're going to beat Miami next week. They're going to secure that. They won the AFC East for whatever it is now, 9-10 straight years in a row now. But more impressive to me is the fact that, that streak of, I think it's now 18 or 17 straight years of 10-plus wins. That's just utterly ridiculous. And in that is a season in which Tom Brady went down in week 1, I believe it was, and they had to go win 11 games with Matt Cassell at quarterback. Yes, I know his name is Matt Castle. I like to call him Matt Cassell. And they didn't make the playoffs that year, coincidentally enough. But anyway, it's going to be fascinating how things unfold for this Patriots team. But the Bills, I feel like there's a changing of the guard coming. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel. Anyhow, let's get to some comments quickly. Gregory Lightbody says the Bills have made this division more competitive. Indeed, they did. And you know, Mike Tirico kept reiterating over and over again. And I always talk about this, that the Patriots usually have this thing locked up by like week 13. You know, they've already got the division sewn up. Now they got their eye on the number 1 seed. And by week 17, they're trying to figure out, should they rest people because they're going to have so much time off? You don't want guys to be overly rusty. Like, that's usually where their focus is, like trying to manage guys' clock late in the season. Now they actually had to play the string out this year. And they still got to play it because they need that first round bye, and they can't afford to rest guys next week versus the Miami Dolphins. So the Bills definitely have put that pressure on the New England Patriots, and it's fun to watch because the Patriots have had a pass for far too long in that division, and the Bills, they're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. They're not a flash in the pan. There's substance in what they're doing. Bean and company are doing one hell of a job out there in building this team into a monster and a bully. And Sean McDermott is the perfect coach, the perfect temperament for this football team. And to me, Josh Allen is the perfect quarterback to lead this team because this organization, Brandon Bean and Sean McDermott, they have a by any means necessary mentality. And Josh Allen, to me, is the perfect example of a quarterback that does it by any means necessary. So to me, he exemplifies everything that this organization stands for right now. And to me, I couldn't find a better quarterback to lead this Buffalo Bills team into the future. Cody _1804 says, I don't care how many people doubt them. My favorite to win the Super Bowl is still the Patriots. Don't ever doubt the Patriots. You won't get any pushback from me on that because every year people doubt the Patriots. Every year they figure it out. This feels a little different, though. I'm not going to lie to you because we've doubted them in certain position groups, or never have we said, hey, look, this side of the ball isn't good enough. And I think they're starting to figure some things out offensively, and I've said all season long, they're going to figure it out. To what extent, I don't know, but they're not going to be just terrible. Like 2 weeks ago, they were horrendous on offense. Like, I don't know if we're going to see that. Against the Chiefs, they were awful on offense. The week prior to that versus Houston, they were awful on offense. Like, I don't know if we're going to see that. They're not going to be that come playoff time. I don't know if we're going to see them playing at the kind of level that makes you feel like they can make it to the Super Bowl. But like you said, until somebody knocks them off, you got to still think that the Patriots are the favorite to at least make it to the AFC Championship game. Tyson W says, Lawrence Guy was probably the Patriots' defensive MVP tonight. Dude made plays all night. Him and Gilmore, minus that one play by Brown that was more on D-Mac, played lights out. You could blame McCourty on that one if you want. I tend to say that Devin expected Gilmore. He expected help to the inside, and he had help, but he expected Gilmore to be there more in the play. And that's not like Gilmore to get beat like that. But yes, Lawrence Guy was a man. He was a beast unchanged tonight. I mean, they had no answer for Lawrence Guy. He was in the backfield consistently. He was collapsing the pocket. He was a problem inside for the Patriots. One of those unsung heroes. You don't hear his name enough, but one of those guys that's definitely a glue guy and a staple along that defensive line. Gregory Lightbody says, I wish the Skins could find creative ways to get Terry the football. Then he could get 1,000 yards. Gregory Lightbody says, Josh Allen did the same thing to our Skins. Used his legs and powered through tackles. He probably is the most strongest quarterback in the league. He's a big boy. He's a big, big man. Cody _1804 says, can't wait to see Jace on the field. And Jace played, I know I saw him against my Redskins a few weeks back. So I know he's back. I just want to see him be impactful. But I'm telling you right now, that tight end group, you're seeing Noah Fant start to explode in Denver. Took him a little while, but that engine is starting to power up. I'm telling you, the tight end group from last year is going to be a problem for years to come. You watch what I'm telling you. That tight end group is going to be one of the best we've seen in quite some time. Gregory Lightbody says, you're right. The DN, wide receiver, and tight end seem to be the best positions from the 2019 NFL draft. And Chuck Sharp says, we'll see this matchup again. Can't see the Titans or Steelers going into Kansas City with a win. Buffalo should beat Houston. Also, Buffalo is the team the Pats do not want to see again. Them and Baltimore. They don't want any parts of either one of those. I think if they see Kansas City again, they feel like they can beat Kansas City, even though I think Kansas City could beat them. They feel confident that if they see Kansas City again, they might be able to get them the next time. But they don't want any parts of Baltimore, and I don't think they want to see this Buffalo Bills team again. I think they feel like, man, We got away from them twice, barely. Both times. We don't want any parts of these boys. And it's family business. You know how the family do it. They know that this family member knows them all too well. And so I think they really want to avoid Buffalo if at all costs. And so I tell you what, though, this Patriots team, they seem to be gaining a little bit of confidence. And the thing that you got to know the Patriots are going to do this time of the year is they're going to start using that outside noise. A lot of people are going to provide ammunition for them. Patriots aren't good enough. Their offense stinks. They're done. Brady's over the hill. All of these things are going to start being brought to the forefront by Bill Belichick. It's going to become bulletin board material, and it's going to become fuel that powers that engine and steams them to the AFC Championship game. And all of a sudden, here they are in familiar territory, and they're going to beat someone they have no business beating, like they did Kansas City last year on the road, and they're going to find their way to the Super Bowl again, and then we'll see what happens from there. So we'll see what happens, but do not, as Cody said, do not count this Patriots team out. You'd be foolish to do so. Anyhow, those are all the comments. I thank you guys for joining me. That was a fabulous game. It's been two really good games. Let's see if we can top it with this capper tonight. San Francisco hosting the Rams. I don't know how much the Rams have left in the tank. They looked like a defeated team last week. They're hanging on to their playoff lives barely. But this is family business. And you know how family business can be conducted at times. Expect the unexpected. I expect another close ball game. The 49ers have to play better than they did last week, or they will get beat. And they have a lot on the line. All right, this is not about the Rams. The Rams are dead. They're not making the postseason. This is more about the 49ers still chasing that number one overall seed. They need to win, and they got to get back on track, and I think they have a chance to do that tonight, so we'll see if they're able to do that or not. So, in any event, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. I thank you guys for joining me. One more. I told you we were going to do this all night long. All night long. All night. Oh, all night long. All night. One more game. All night. So, come back and join me as we'll break down 49ers Rams at its conclusion. But if you haven't already done so, pound that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't already done so. Make sure that you share this video if at all possible. And remember that if it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage it could be. Until next time, I'm your man Louie T signing off. I'll see you at the conclusion of 49ers hosting the Los Angeles Rams. I'm your man Louie T. Enjoy the game, and we'll come back and we'll do it again one more time. See you then.